Brad, thanks for joining us to talk about the January issue of Today in the Word, Learning from God. We're excited to have you. And I thought maybe you could tell people just a little bit about who you are.
I am a professor at Moody Bible Institute, and I have been here, well, that's a good question. I've been here 7 years on faculty, but I also worked with Today in the Word and marketing back in the 90s. And in between, I went overseas.
Very neat. Brad is also an author. This is his book on Waiting Well, and highly recommend it. Yeah, it's a good, I think we've all been going through a period of waiting during the pandemics.
I submitted the book before COVID hit at all. So that wasn't in my thoughts. And as I said, God has a sense of humor. And now I know what I wrote it for, because I need to learn about waiting on the Lord in this season.
Which is a good segue. Learning from God is our topic of the month. What inspired you to come up with that topic? Was it your role as a teacher? I'm curious.
As a teacher, I want to serve my students in a lot of ways, but the main way is I want them to learn something, to learn what God would have them learn, whether it's in my lesson plan or not. I would argue that all true learning has eternal value and has the potential to glorify God. I think God created us to learn.
Yeah, I think, I've been going to church since I was a little girl, and I've been to Bible college. And so you would think, well, at some point, haven't you learned it all, about the Bible, or shouldn't you be closer? But from my own experience, it seems like the more I walk with the Lord, the more I realize I have to learn.
You when you're in love with someone or something, there's no such thing as enough. It's been a very key part of my ongoing love affair with Scripture, and my sense that I'm gonna need eternity to keep learning, because one lifetime is pathetically short.
Can you tell us what readers can expect this issue to focus on?
Yeah, I think they can expect to get that implied question answered. What does learning have to do with my relationship with God? That learning is a spiritual discipline. It should be part of our walk with the Lord. They can also expect to get a definition of learning from Scripture. Learning is often connected with more familiar terms like wisdom or truth. We'll also get some practical examples from Scripture of people in the Bible who learned what God had to teach them, and some negative examples of people who failed to learn what God had to teach them. How can we incorporate the habit of learning into our lives biblically for God's glory?
Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us about this study. I know I'm excited to share it with our readers, and it will be a great way to start our January by spending time in the Word. And we just really appreciate you writing for us. So thank you.
My privilege. Thanks for having me on. And I really hope that the listeners will learn and grow as a result of this study.